Hey gamers, welcome back to a brand new DSP video. That's right, this is actually a very early recording I'm doing because usually I wait until like this is an archive that we're watching, but this was so ridiculous. I just had had to start recording to get to do this video because this is like this is insane what we're gonna listen to. So get hyped. Let's fucking go. Oh, wait, wrong window. I'm no BS right now. All right.
Let's get to the topic everyone wants me to address. You guys have been asking me about this for 2 days. All right. So all of a sudden, out of the blue, a couple
But he kept describing this as, let's talk about the elephant in the room. This dude has like a knack of making fat jokes without even trying. Like, it's like a reflex. He does that with Kat all the time. Oh, this is not a pregnancy announcement, and then says like, "Oh, let's address the elephant in the room. I'm not streaming with Kat anymore, or whatever the fuck." Like, it's such a very like weird thing. It's really like he's used to do that around fat people all the time, and it's so like baked in. He can't like stop. You know, it's like if you see like the R slur, the F slur, whatever, and you say it like for years and years and years, so you want to stop using it. It's like, you know, it's years of using it. But then eventually you can control how you talk because you realize you are a big boy and you can control what you say. You know what I'm saying? Bleh.
a couple days ago, Wings of Redemption randomly said in the middle of his stream, out of nowhere,
Out of
"Oh,
nowhere.
well, I should probably mention."
By the way, I wanna highlight this. If you go to Lumux's video, look at the pinned comment. Look at the pinned comment. There's no dimension in this entire multiverse where Wings would ever touch me once in a fight. Wow. And someone please tell him that having his wife on camera is no brag for him. That is okay, that's something. Nobody better show him what I look like now that I'm working out. Because that's definitely one thing about me he wouldn't be able to steal. Wait, what? Oh yeah, because he claims that like everyone's stealing his content. Okay. Alright.
Mention this during a stream where I've got more attendance, but let me just start talking about it. I'm gonna appear, but I can't
Appeal.
speak. I'm gonna appear on Phil's show on Monday. So anyone who wants to see me hang out with Phil on Monday, that's happening. Okay.
Okay.
And then again, apparently last night, Wings was playing Battlefield 6, and he mentioned it again. He said, "Yeah, on Monday I'm going to be on Phil's show." All right. But the weird thing is that he's not giving like many details or anything about it. Right. He's just randomly like
Right?
mentioning this as like a one-off quick thing. And so a lot of people, I guess, are dismissing it.
This is like a game of telephone. Like, and this is like really stupid for multiple reasons. For years and forever, DSP has highlighted the fact that Wings is a liar. Remember that whole thing about I emailed Phil. I emailed him, and Phil's like, I never got email from Wings, and then Wings is like, yeah, I didn't email him. See, he is a liar. Then like after his little fetish about getting all these people on the show for them to just do whatever, Wings kept not showing up, and DSP kept like saying, well, he's doing this, he's doing that, then said, well, these people are hard to work with. Then he said, like, well, I want to talk to Keen. Let me talk to your manager. Like, he cared the fuck out of Boogie and Wings. Like, so, like, just keep that in mind. That's, like, the track record. So, of course, when Wings said, oh, I'm going to be on a show on Monday, like, of course, nobody's going to believe him because, these are two liars. Right? And like, that's what he told us. He told us Wings is a liar. I just love the fact that, like, DSP finds a way to put everyone in such a bitch fucking position. It is, like, insane that there's not even a pushback to what he's doing. The only people that push back are people who are like a little bit more competent, like uh uh was it Justin Wong? Who was it that turned Phil down because of how he reacted to VTubers, like, etc. Meanwhile, you have DSP say like Wings is a shitty person. He constantly said that Wings has a shitty life, shits on Wings like completely, and Wings like, yeah, Phil, please bend me over. Like, it, unless Wings was gonna do like a random like turnaround on the interview and like fucking dog walk fucking DSP like Rich did, like, but I don't see that happening, because it's probably just gonna be two people like talking about how much they love the internet or whatever the fucking how mean people are or whatever, I don't know. But I've never seen so many people just trip over themselves to like placate a person like Phil. Like, they're all running to be like, yes, Phil, I'll be right there. Yes, Phil. Yes, I know you told me my life is a piece of shit. I suck ass, but it's all good, man. I'll do whatever.
It and saying, it's obviously he's just talking out of his ass, or if Phil has said a million times that if Phil is going to be involved in anything, whether he's going to appear on a show or someone's going to appear on his show, or there's going to be some kind of an event, DSP will bring it up. And DSP has,
but like that's how he projects what happened when he says this stuff, though. However, that's not the reality. The reality is he did get into contact with Becky Boop. I'm gonna say Becky Boop, whatever the fuck that lady, lolcow lady. I don't know. He did talk to her. He was in their DMs. So that did happen. Nothing came of it because I don't think DSP wanted to be a part of that. I just think he just wanted to put his little hoof in the door and see what he can do. And then it was like, I don't want to do it, or whatever the fuck, or whatever slimy shit he does. Because also remember, he tried to like dance around Kino Casino the whole time. Like, he wanted to be involved with them, but on his terms, so he would make up lies as well. So who knows what other lies, like as I said when I talked about that. He thinks that King Snake arc was like amazing and makes him look really cool, but it just makes him look like a bitch. And it makes him look very two-faced when he does anything. Because he'll tell you one thing and then say something else completely, or just exploit the situation. Because it's very obvious that he just wants to see what he would be asked of to do stuff with Becky Boop, see the value, and then it was like, oh, I'm not doing this, and then he backed out. That's all that happened during that, supposedly. But he was in contact with her, at least in some degree. So he didn't have to say, oh, I'm gonna have her on my show, or I'm gonna be on their show. The truth is, there was at least some conversation those two had. There was also a conversation between him and Craig. Now, of course, like anything else on the internet and the creative industry, a lot of things can be in talks and all that, and it doesn't mean it's gonna come through, right? Like, there's been so much talk years ago where Kojima was talking an idea about a zombie game. He never made a zombie game. Like, that's the kind of thing that's going on. Like, it's just things happen, things fall apart, or whatever the fuck. And he's like, yeah, well, they wrote it off. They probably wrote it off because they either think you're a bitch and you won't do anything, or they know that Wings is a liar, and DSP called him a liar.
He has said multiple times in the past, don't believe anything anyone else says, because a lot of people just talk. You'll hear it from him first. So that's why I think a lot of people have been like, this isn't a big deal.
I love that he wants to be the first one to break the news on everything. He wants to be the first and the last.
Don't really need to bring it up. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So here's the deal. Here's what's actually going on. Let me explain to everyone to get it out in there publicly in the air. You know me. I don't talk about anything unless it's ready to go It's locked in and guaranteed and exciting. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
to be honest with you guys, if I had told you about all stuff that I've worked on in the last year, year and a half, you'd probably be very disappointed. There was a lot of people I was talking with who I thought would be on the show, who I thought I could do some content with, and none of it worked out.
This is like silly though, because he was able to fight in CVS 2 with Justin Wong. And Justin Wong seemed pretty open to play the game again the next week. Like, it didn't seem like it that it would have been even that hard. I mean, maybe something changed, but I don't know. I don't think Justin Wong really cares, one way or the other.
Worked out. And I've told you why. Several people who actually were very interested in working with me then found out about Kiwi Farms. Okay, I'm just being honest
This
here.
is such a generic, like, thing. It could mean anything. Because again, these people spin anything to mean anything. Like, they could have simply just said, "Oh yeah, they told me that you played WWE Champions, you lied." And like, "Oh, Kiwi Farms. See? They got attacked by Kiwi Farms." Like, it could be as simple as that. And it will condemn that entire website.
Here, Kiwi Farms, the website full of degenerates and mentally ill people who literally will dox the living shit out of anyone who has involvement with me or other people who they have termed lolcows for literally no reason. Like, it serves no purpose. It doesn't hurt me, but they will do this. So multiple people who I've tried to work with over the last year to year and a half have said, we'd like to work with you. The content sounds like a great idea, but we just can't take the chance that ourselves, our viewers, our family members, our moderators are all going to get doxxed on Kiwi Farms. So therefore, we can't work with you.
Oh,
That's not a lie. That's not an exaggeration.
whatever.
That happened 3 different times in the last year from people who I want to collab with.
I think but you know how DSP talks to people. He will just this is probably how it went down, right? Either, let's say DSP reached out to someone. I'm gonna just make up people. Makima. I just looked at an android, Makima from Chainsaw Man. Yeah, he talks to her, and he's like, Makima, you wanna go on the Level 1 podcast? And then she'd say like, sure, what time? Okay, but I should warn you, okay? That I have a bunch of trolls, and they may like harass you and do crazy shit or whatever the fuck. He's gonna say all this stuff, blah blah. To explain it to Miss Makima, and then she'd be like, "Oh, I don't want to deal with that. Okay, bye bye," and then that's where it ends. Like, it could be as simple as that. That he would explain to them, like that's how simple it would be. Because think about it this way, right? If Kiwi Farm is such a known threat, Kiwi Farm's been in his like career since like Panda Lee, basically. Wouldn't they have prevented Cat from moving in if that was the case? Like, I don't know, but I do think that there is a degree where he tells them about Kiwi Farms and how they're gonna do stuff, and then they'd probably back out because of that. I think that's what's going on here. And because technically it is Kiwi Farm's fault, but it's because he told them about this that would turn anyone away. Like, I don't care who you are. If you tell someone that, like, hey man, you want to come over? Oh, okay, but if you come over, I have a dog and it may like kill you. But you want to come over? It's a huge dog, by the way. It's bear sized. And then you're gonna be like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm fine. We'll just keep playing online. Like, that kind of shit. Like, that's what DSP does. Because he did that to, like, sponsors. He would contact sponsors and tell them, yeah, you're probably gonna get harassed, and then they would be like either scared off or they'd be like, we don't care. And then they'd be thrown out of business or whatever the fuck, right?
Okay?
Okay.
And I never said the word Kiwi Farms. They did. That's how infamous it's become, So when you say, oh, website like that, oh, it's fine, it's not harmful.
Then he says they said it. I mean, I would also be curious as to who he was talking to, right? Because again, like I don't know, whatever.
Well, no, it absolutely is 100%. Absolutely is a horrible place, and it shouldn't exist. Okay? Now,
All right. Okay.
in regards to what's going on with Wings, okay? The reason that you have not heard me bring this up whatsoever is because it's not a lock. Nothing. In regards
I
to
love these
what's
little
going on with
faces he
Wings,
does.
okay? The reason that you have not heard me bring this up whatsoever is because
Because this is like he like come on.
it's not a lock.
I don't know how to describe it.
Nothing has been solidified.
Not a
Nothing
lock.
has been set in stone. Nothing has been scheduled. Okay. Here's what's been going on. As you know, and I've talked about this publicly for a while now, for a long time,
It's not a lock, but it's like he had a day he was gonna show up. He knew that was the day he wanted him on. Like, that's pretty much a lock, but wait until you hear why it wasn't.
tried to get Wings of Redemption to do something with me, whether it was just appear on a show, for an interview, for a podcast.
Yeah, no, we all remember Phil, and then you said, after all that, I'm never talking to Wings again. He's a liar, and he wastes my time. I don't want to be wasting my time. My time is valuable. And look what he did. Wasted his time that's so valuable to talk to Wings. Like, this is what I mean when he has these big grandiose statements. They mean as nothing. They mean as much as toilet paper, and that's still like over giving a little bit too much value. Like this dude was saying how much he didn't want to spend any time working to get Wings on his show because he didn't give him anything or whatever. To then just try to talk to work with him again, and like yeah, of course it's gonna make him look desperate, but it also just even even like looking at it, it just means he has no principles. Like this is like exactly how he talked about with Twitch. I'm never going back to Twitch. Come watch me on Twitch. Like this whole thing about him having such a moral standing against Twitch right now is bullshit. It's laughable because he would go back to Twitch if he could. If they gave him his channel back with a partnership and all that, he would be triple streaming on Kick, Twitch, and YouTube. And he tried to convince us the management changed, guys. Twitch, they're better now. And then if there's any other Twitch drama that happens after that, he's not gonna talk about it because that's what happened when he was on Twitch. He was on Twitch and people kept telling about like titty streamers, hot tub streamers, and he wouldn't talk about it and say, "Well, this doesn't affect me," and move on. I mean, come on.
hell, to team up and do some gaming together, whatever it may be. And every time that I made the attempt, here's what would happen. Okay. Either I would be completely and utterly ghosted, where I would get no response whatsoever, or I would initially get a response and he would seem interested only for him to later on then ghost me. And the weirdest part about it was he would talk about it publicly in his own content. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do stuff with Phil. Like years ago, he said, oh yeah, I'm gonna play Battlefield with Phil and I'm gonna do this and that. And it wasn't Battlefield, I think it was Call of Duty or whatever. But the weirdest part was he never spoke to me about this stuff. He would just talk about it on his own streams, right?
So then
I would try to reach out to him and he would ghost me.
All
Now,
right.
a year ago, okay, I had reached out to both Wings of Redemption and Boogie to be potential guests
Wait,
for the level 1. Now,
wait
a year
a
ago,
minute. Wait a
stuff,
minute.
he would just want to play Battlefield with Phil and I'm going to do this and that. And it wasn't Battlefield, I think it was Call of Duty or whatever. But the weirdest part was he never spoke to me about this stuff. He would just talk about it on his own streams, right? Then I would try to reach out to him and he would ghost me.
So I mean, it's true that like okay, maybe Wings did not email him, but so that part was still a lie. But DSP never said he reached out to Wings after that, unless he's talking about another time. That's what I'm thinking about.
Now, a year ago,
All right,
okay,
a year ago,
I had reached out to both Wings of Redemption and Boogie to be potential guests for the Level 1 podcast when I was trying to get guests for the show. This was last fall, okay? Both initially seemed interested. Both responded and seemed interested. But then all of a sudden, Wings stopped responding. And I'm not even kidding you. Like, Keemstar was like, oh, well, you got to have Boogie on first. What do you mean I got to have Boogie on first?
What do you...
Like, I should have whoever I want on my show on first.
You
But
gotta
it
have
seemed
Boogie
like,
on
I don't know
first.
if it was a situation where Boogie just...
Okay, this is a really funny retelling of this story. But at that time, I remember DSP openly stated Wings was like away. He was doing camping or whatever the fuck. He was doing something. He was like, yeah, he's on a trip, so I can't really do so. I have to get Boogie on. But now he's just saying that Keem just told him straight up, get Boogie on first. Even though, like, he told us that Wings was on some kind of journey or whatever the fuck. This is really weird. This is such a weird story.
He just really wanted to be on my show. And so he was like going with his boss, Keem, and be like, listen, I really want to go on Phil's show first. Can you make that happen? I'm not sure what it was. Okay.
Oh my god, now it's just...
But anyway, I was basically...
Like, this is like a change of story. It almost just, he wants these two to be fighting... This dude wants everyone to fight over him. The main character syndrome. Guys, they're all fighting over me. Everyone wants a piece of me. I'm in demand. Oh my god. And I bet you, let's say that Rich was selling the story, and then someone relayed that to DSP, like, you're telling me that Buggy and Wings are fighting to be on Rich's stream? That's fucking stupid.
Basically outright overtly told, the only way you'll ever have Wings of Redemption on your show is if you have Boogie on first. The thing was, when I asked you guys a year ago, are you interested in having Boogie on?
Okay, this is also low-key kind of bullshit. His audience did say no because of the cancer scandal. However, there were fucking clips of Boogie saying how hard it is to work with Phil. And all this stuff, all this, so it did show that DSP did put effort to get Boogie on. Until DSP was like, oh, he's being hard to work with. I'm not... Okay, let's try to find this. Let's try to find this fucking segment. Let's see. Responding to Boogie.
Yesterday on my podcast, Boogie decides to take to X and make a video message about me. All right? Now, I'm just going to forewarn all of you. Right ahead, I don't want to jump scare you, and I don't want you to have your stomach turned. But
okay.
If you don't want to be... Okay, I forgot. He films this, all right, with food all over his face. And he doesn't even know. It's just disgusting. It's really gross.
Okay.
He has his camera and he walks around his house talking to it.
Okay.
It serves a purpose, okay? Keemstar has done this for years and years. So now Boogie has to basically copy Keemstar in the way that he does his messages and shit. So that's why he's doing it this way, just to forewarn everyone. All right?
All right.
Now, I'm going to play, but I'm not going to watch the video because I am disgusted he has food all...
Okay.
And giving him free content. And it took like a week to settle down a date. I picked last Friday. And I give him the caveat that, like, look, my business comes first, right? Lolcow Live comes first. So even though we can schedule a date, if Keemstar needs me to travel, if the show needs me to do something, I have to prioritize my business and my show. But otherwise, I'm glad to come on as soon as I can. We decided last Friday wasn't good enough. So over the weekend, I tried to get a new date, and I'm like, okay, look, I don't know what day surgery is for Jordy. I want to be available for surgery.
Oh, Wings had to get surgery. The web of lies. The web of bullshit. He told us today. Oh, I guess oh, Keem told me Boogie wanted to go first, and then there's this whole thing about the wing surgery. This is like, and you know what? On one hand, it's like, okay, maybe this is part of like the whole like lol cow WWE kind of thing that's going on. But it showed that DSP participated in that. Then after the fact, he's like out of it, but he's kind of continuing it. But he also told us he doesn't want to do this. He wants to be real and honest.
Something goes bad, if he needs help. But I think Tuesday will work. And I told him that Monday night. All right, Monday night, I'll be there tomorrow morning. He decides that's not good enough because he needs his audience to have some major prep time. He wants to put it on his schedule or something like that. I'm like, all right, well, let's reschedule a third time. And he's like, all right, this time add me on Discord. Here's the problem. I don't use Discord. I'm a 50-year-old man. I use it for my local live server. That's it. I don't do friends. I don't message people.
Well,
I'm a 50-year-old man. I don't.
FYI, I'm letting the whole thing play, but
Okay.
already there's like 10 things I could
I'm
respond
glad
to
you
and be
explained-
like, this is so wrong.
Oh my god, this is
to
so
coordinate
wrong.
any of this yet. We've done all of this on Twitter, so now suddenly we have to do it on Discord. So then I go into Discord and they try to figure out where his account is. I have like 400 friend requests on Discord. Why we have to use Discord for this, I don't know at this point. So then I found out today he's decided to cancel.
This is tremendous. The food is still on his face. He's talked for 1 minute and 30 seconds, and the food is still attached
We are
to
still
his
talking
face.
about the food. He's obsessed with it, and I wonder why he's talking about the food on Boogie's face. I wonder if it has anything to do with Boogie being a big individual.
Let's keep going.
Which is fine. You know, like one of the reasons I was doing it was to give him content. Another reason I was doing it was in the hopes that maybe one day he would come on our show, even though he said he never would, even though he said he'd need $50,000 payment to come on our show, which is obviously never going to happen. I would still want to do his show for free just because I like Phil. And this is what it's like to try to do Dark Side Phil a solid and give him the favor of free content. Great. Y'all.
All right. So you've seen the clip now, right?
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Now I can respond to it. But
All right,
I felt like
respond,
you
Phil.
have to watch it once in its entirety.
Okay.
Need to remember Boogie is 50. He doesn't know how to work Discord. He also needs to be sure there isn't an ICL episode that day when the show is spontaneous and doesn't have a schedule. Shout out the after show. What is ICL?
Oh my god. What
Did
is
you mean
eyes?
Lolcow
Okay.
live episode that day? Okay,
I'm kind of forgetting why I'm watching this.
let's go ahead. Let's give a shout
Oh my god. I forgot why I wanted to watch this.
out. Thank you, Mon.
Come on.
Thank you. The order right away. Okay.
Phil the favor of going and appearing.
I've actually put more work into trying to get him on the show than any of the other guests that have been on. And I don't really see that there's going to be a ton of payout for it. So considering I've actually put more work into trying to get him on the show.
All right, whatever. Like, I guess I wanted to like figure out like the events.
Boogie on the show. You guys said no.
Oh yeah, I wanted to find the reason why you didn't want him on. That's right.
Than any of the other guests that have been on. And I don't really see that there's going to be a ton of payout for it. So considering the public reaction that people don't like Boogie and said, don't have him on your show, don't give him a platform. So I don't believe it's free. I mean, I'm not paying him to appear, nor would I.
So it is
But
free.
at the same time, it's definitely not free. There's a lot of time investment to try to wrangle this dude. Okay?
It took like a week to settle down a date. I picked last Friday, and I give him the caveat that, like, look,
Look,
my business
listen.
comes first, right? Local Live comes first. So
Okay. Half of that statement is completely true, and half of that statement is 100% an outright blatant lie. Okay? He absolutely said, Lolcow Live comes first. That's my work. That has to take priority. And I respect that fully. 100%. If he's involved with his show or whatever, that always takes precedent. And even if we had locked in Tuesday morning, and then all of a sudden, never once
Okay.
said anything about a Friday. Not once. I gave him 3 dates. I said Tuesday, Thursday and Friday of this week. He's claiming that he said Friday of last week. That discussion never happened. There was never even an open Friday of last week that he could have been on. That's complete bullshit. He made it up.
Right.
I
He
went
made
and
it up.
just
What
to
a
be
liar.
sure, I went back and I checked our entire conversation from top to fucking bottom. That never happened. So he literally fabricated half of that yet till I have my wife's work schedule because I need to know what days I have off or whatever. And then when I had her schedule, I said, okay, made up. All right. I don't know why he made that.
To do
Oh my
something,
God,
I have to prioritize my business.
I
and
just
my
want to know
show.
why.
Otherwise, I'm glad to come on
This
as soon
is
as I can.
really
We
annoying.
decided last Friday. Look, I don't know what day surgery is for Jordy.
So we watched the video once. Oh
Wanna
my
be a vi-
God, this is annoying. And he
Going
keeps
to
like
be- was
looking
it
at the
Wednesday
camera.
the 16th? Everyone knew the date of Jordy's surgery, except his coworker. You're literally the only person on the internet. Coworkers, right? I mean, I'm curious. Okay, whatever you say, bro. Let's continue.
Something goes bad. If
Prior situation where we talked about Tuesday, and I said, okay, let's lock it in. Send me your Discord. I'll add you on Discord, and he doesn't accept the friend invite. He didn't even accept the friend invite till yesterday. Okay. Your prep time. I need people to know you're going to be on or what. You're not going to be on the show Tuesday because it's not confirmed. I already had it set. You wouldn't confirm. That was the end of it. Right? It's like, this guy thinks.
Okay, I guess we get the general gist, right? What I'm trying to find out, because I kind of feel, if the public opinion was why he didn't want to do didn't want to do Boogie, he didn't want to have Boogie on his show, then why are we spending more time talking about how Boogie could not like agree with him on Discord or get Discord going and all this other stuff? Like, he's more upset about this than the public reaction.
Thinks that
Like, this is also him saying that time management would be worth it because of the audience, it wouldn't be free, but he was still willing to go through with it. Like, that's the thing. He was still willing to go through with it.
because I messaged you at like 6 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesday night while you were setting up for your stream and working. You should have known that I messaged you and immediately said, I'm going to be on your show Tuesday morning. No. No. I had already announced Monday morning you're not going to be on the show. That's not how it works. Okay.
was to put it on his schedule or something like that. I'm like, all right, well then let's read.
All right. Let's go to the other Boogie video. This 2023. Oh, that this was like some other thing. But yeah, whatever. We got the general gist. Let's go back to the main feature.
We're not. If you remember, that was the breakout scandal where it was revealed that he had been lying about having cancer for a long time to try to strum.
Again, he downplayed about that scandal. He said, why should people be upset with Boogie lying about cancer? There's other people online that lie about their diseases or whatever the fuck. I'm mostly saying that one person that like faked being like paralyzed or some shit. This I think this is an old YouTube video too. This must have been like an old YouTube scandal. But I think that's like a cop out and kind of like, okay, but this is like an actual like confirmation that somebody lied about cancer. Like, you know, it's one thing to like be skeptical. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to go through that whole thing. But he downplayed the fuck out of Boogie lying about it, which is really funny.
Strum up sympathy from his viewers and try to raise funds. And people were just disgusted with the guy. They wanted nothing whatsoever to do with him. They were like, no, we just don't want this guy on your show. We don't think it's going to add anything. We don't think the conversation will be interesting. So I listened to feedback. I was like, all right, if you guys don't want it, then I won't do it. So basically I said, forget it. I don't want Boogie on the show. If you remember, we were even talking about doing it, and he was not even capable.
Oh, look, we're back to
sending me a Discord information so I could add him to the Discord, and then trying to schedule when he was going to come on. It was like seriously, it was like.
So look how much of a footnote the public reaction took. He said, yeah, nobody wanted him on, but then we couldn't get him on Discord anyway. So like even after that, he still tried and he couldn't get it to go through. So that shows how little anything matters to him.
It was like the biggest hardship and endeavor. Now the funny thing is, let's see. I was easily able to appear on Kino Casino multiple times. They appeared on my content multiple times. Fine.
But
You know,
but you snaked them though, and they were snaking you, dude. But come on.
no problem getting June the King to show up, Stuttering Craig to show up. I'm not a hard guy to work with. You just have to have like common sense and some basic intelligence and some work ethic. And sadly, I hate to say it, but I think some people just don't. And so after like going through hoops to try to talk to Boogie to get him on the show, I had enough. I said, I just don't care anymore. I just lost complete interest. Like, I don't give a shit. My audience doesn't want it. I'm tired of working with this guy because he's fucking so disorganized. Enough. So I just completely got rid of
that was the big reason. Not the other one. The other one was little because he probably in his little piggy brain was like, well, they say no, but they're good. You know, the trolls may watch.
got rid of the whole idea. And that was that. Now, over the last year, I have made attempts from time to time to reach out to Wings of Redemption again and say, hey, just so you know, if you're ever interested, the door is still open, blah, blah, blah. All right? But finally, I just got fed up because it was a couple months ago, 2-3 months ago, I would say. And I had made like a final attempt, and I'm like, dude, you've been like
2 to 3 months ago. Okay, I mean, I guess that's the direct attempt.
ignoring me for like a year. And the funny part is when he talks about me in his content, it's always usually positive. Yeah, he'll make a little joke here or there, right? But for the most part, it's positive stuff. People say, would you work with Phil? Yeah, I would. Then why doesn't he ever respond? Right? Ever. He just ghosts me, but he talks publicly, but then he ghosts, right? So finally, recently, I was watching some of the detractor content about him. I'm not
DSP is like the number one guy who makes a big deal when like hold up. Oh, I thought sorry if you heard that. I thought I muted the mic. Sometimes there's like a small delay in the button, so I apologize for that. But this guy is the number one dude who bitched about fucking side scrollers for watching detractor content and making interview questions based on detractor content and whatever the fuck, blah blah blah. But he also shits on people who watch detractor content in general anyway. And look at this guy. Yeah, I watch detractor content of Wings. But then this dude was like if Wings is watching detractor videos and all this other stuff, these people would bitch about it. He bitched about it in the fucking night. Oh, this is the wrong one. in the stupid ass chill stream where he was like listen to this.
How you feel. You can just let yourself go. You can just sit back.
Wait,
like, does
what?
it sound like someone? Single again. Phil needs to work out now. You see, it's like, oh, see, now I don't have to care about you. Want to take care of yourself. Be around and do stuff for me because I can't move. It should be, oh, I'm married. I love that person so much that I'm going to put myself through physical pain, suffer, act like I can talk about someone else and know anything about lifestyle, fitness, or any talking out of his ass and just saying dumb shit. I mean, it really is stupid. And at the same time that apparently he's talking like this, he apparently did actually try to join like a game with me yesterday when I was playing Call of Duty last night. He apparently wanted to play with me on your stream. Oh, the only reason Phil's working out is because his wife left him. You have no evidence of anything you're saying. You're saying something insulting. Now you.
So you know what? You know what? Why he wants? Oh my god, this is great. But you know, okay. You know what? I guess the real reason why DSP wants Wings on, he wants to pignetize him. He wants to do this little pignosis session with him. He wants to convert Wings to pignosis. I don't know. He wants to indoctrinate him.
Now you want to join a lobby with someone and play a game with them?
He sees that all these people are. He's saying all these detractor videos. He's like, well, if I get him on, I could then try to condition him to actually defend me.
To do a collab with you? Really? Is that how it works? You just insult people, say dumb shit,
Oh.
and then you ask for a collab?
Yeah, actually, he could insult Phil all he wants, and Phil will just naturally show up in his DMs. I mean, actually, look, this did work. This did work. Think he say so. That's how it's done. You proved him right, dum dum. Oh my god, listen to this.
Someone and play a game with them? You want them to do a collab with you? Really? Is that of anything you're saying? You're saying something insulting. Now you want to join a lobby with someone and play a game with them? You want them to do a collab with you? Really? Is that how it works? You just insult people, say dumb shit, and then you ask for a collab? Well, how about this, Jordy? If you want to play with me, you can play with me. We'll set it up. We'll have a big lobby. 5 bands. That's all it's going to cost you. 5 big ones. And then we could do it. You want the collab, you got to pay for it up
We're
front.
gonna skip the
What I want you to do,
the LTG meme.
So I want you to do, I want a big ass. I'm only going to make you do.
And I like he's doing this because he's making fun of Wings for being fat. This is but remember guys, it's fucked up to make fun of people, right? He defended Wings so hard, and as I said before, it was completely performative. It wasn't genuine. It wasn't out of like concern. It was just Wings will love me if I say Wings did nothing wrong and just enough times.
All right. And if you do that, if you can do 10 reps, just 10. My set only goes up to like 52. So,
Okay, okay.
all right, then we can do 70 pounds.
We're moving
this
forward
is
to
not
this.
serious at all. What happened last night is that apparently Wings wants to play Call of Duty. Wings wants to play Call of Duty. And usually when I was booting up the game, and he was waiting for this on his own here, and he tried to type in my chat and talk to me. The message.
Okay, I don't care about the Call of Duty
world
shit.
with this guy. He thinks he's a tough guy. He thinks he's a good-looking guy near me, right? So or touch me. He would literally like dumb shit. Like the guy is a giant fucking whale. I'm sorry, he knows he is.
Look at this dude. And Wings caved. Wings caved.
There's no way he was going to ever hit me in a fight. He would never even get to me.
So as I said, it's like a never-ending like Ouroboros, where it's like a snake eating its own tail or whatever the fuck, where DSP will like a dude will like say, "Oh, Phil, you're a piece of shit. Yeah, I could beat you in a fight." Then these people will be like, "You think I'm gonna do a collab with you? And you're saying that you could beat me in a fight? You're a bitch. I'm never doing a collab with you." And all this other shit. Then, like, so they're both like, you know, peacocking, I guess would be the term. They're both trying to like look big at bigger than the other. And then they both kind of cook out for each other. It's like really funny.
You understand?
And just imagine, oh my god, Boogie would probably enjoy dealing with him. Boogie has this whole humiliation fetish. That might actually be why Boogie likes DSP a lot. Like, it checks the boxes. Boogie would definitely crawl on all fours for Phil. Definitely.
Understand? Like,
he did for Hakeem, he'll do it again for
dance
Phil.
around him like a twinkle toes boxer until he fucking passed out. He would never even get to hit me once or touch
Sorry,
me.
I'm like I'm like
Unless he
getting
was
over
behind me and
sickness.
I said
like
he
a
fell
cold or
on
some
me
shit.
because I didn't know he was behind me. But how would I not know he's behind me? The ground would shake when he got near me, right? So I don't understand how he ever thinks that he would ever fight me and hit me. Everything is just
Like, I just love,
bizarre.
like they both look like little bitches dealing with each other. Like, Wings says this thing. DSP makes a big point to say, I'm not doing work with him, he's a piece of shit. And then Wings is like, I'm gonna do work with him. And then Phil's like, yeah, I'm gonna do work with him.
A fantasy world with this guy. He thinks he's a tough guy. He thinks he's a good-looking guy. He thinks he's attractive to women. He says all this shit on his stream all the time.
He thinks he's attractive,
nuts.
but he's married, dummy.
Anyway, so they've been goading him into this
Wait a
bizarre
minute.
fantasy world with this guy. He thinks he's a tough guy. He thinks he's a good-looking guy. He thinks he's attractive to women. He says all this shit.
He thinks he's attractive to women. How did he get his wife then? I mean, if anything, people say that about Phil all the time. Phil thinks he's attractive. He thinks he can attract women. Meanwhile, he's married to Kat.
On his stream all the time. He's nuts.
He's
Okay?
nuts.
Anyway, so they've been goading him into saying all this dumb shit like that on his streams. Then they've been goading him. It's all his trolls is what it is, but he's stupid. He believes it all. Then they goaded him into believing that Kat left me. No, my wife did not leave me. What the fuck? Like, there's no evidence of anything. This is just detractor nonsense that they say as detractor memes for their videos. He believes it. He's actually like that
Again, let's listen to him talk about watching Wings detractor
I'm
videos.
not gonna lie, because I'm curious. What is it that these detractors have about this guy?
Like, again, he's mocking Wings. He was mocking Wings for listening to detractor content about Phil and how Kat left him and all this other stuff. And then DSP goes around and says, "Well, I watched it. I watched Wings detractor. I just want to see what they have on him." But meanwhile, the stuff that this is exactly to a degree. I'll say this, right, because they bring up June the King during the side scrollers. I mean, it's that exact point, and it's a good criticism on Phil for sure. It's just that this is a little bit different because it's June the King, and June the King does all this other work. There's no strong motivation for June to put out a hit piece necessarily, right? Versus you have these detractor channels that are dedicated on shitting on people, like DSP has, Wings has, LTG trolls, etc., right? But it's very true though that Keem was like, how is it that when it's a video shitting on me, it's a documentary and you believe it, but if it's a video shitting on you, it's hearsay? You'd think he'd understand that. So before I was doing this video, I was debating doing a video, a different style DSP video about the Emiru thing, right? Because of the parasocial narratives and all this other stuff. But oh my god, sorry, this video idea was very loose, so I never really finished it. I have one take of it. I'm not too crazy about it, but so the thought is very it's there, but it's not fully there. But it's so I can't remember it now. God damn it. I guess it was because it was about parasocial relationships I was trying to focus more on, because I would think he'd understand that people may be more parasocially attached to some people because of his own stream chat or something like that. Whatever. Let's move on.
That they hate so much, right? And admittedly, he has some mannerisms that are kind of odd and weird. Things that he says and does and the ways that he behaves, okay?
Oh my god.
There's ongoing, just like with
what
he has some manner.
What the fuck is he talking about? What's it? So this is about Wing saying how he could beat DSP and his wife, or whatever the fuck. That's what this video is for. Okay, let's go to the other Lumix videos. Cryptocurrency won't exist in 3 years. Low donations. Wings of Redemption. Think sardines and carbine are spelled. Are spelled the same way. What? Okay. Whatever. But sure, someone deals with his mannerisms, but the subject matter of these videos are very specific and varying degrees, right? People who love cryptocurrency will say this is a dumb take because cryptocurrency is forever, or that it's already imploding or whatever the fuck. Wings of Redemption says he is not making enough money. I mean, that's just showing how much he's about money and all this about begging. That's the thing that makes these people lol cows. That's exactly what's going on here. And he's yeah, they have special, they have unique mannerisms. That's not why they're making these videos, Phil. Nobody's making videos on Phil because he says words funny and he has weird mannerisms. It has to do with the things he says.
Mannerisms that are kind of odd and weird. Things that he says and does and the ways that he behaves, okay? There's ongoing, just like with me, there's ongoing themes of reasoning that his trolls say about him that they all latch onto. It's kind of samey stuff. What I mean by that is, if you take a look at Detractor's content...
Yeah, we know it's samey stuff because guess what, guys? He keeps comparing all these lolcows to himself yeah, we're all being harassed by trolls. That's the only common thread he found amongst all of them. like, to a degree, some people may argue DC should stay in his lane and play with the lolcows because that's like the league he's in. You have to work your way up from the ground, right? But he also doesn't have to do that. Because as I said, he puts himself in a box. A lot of people online are probably very like cooperative if you like ask and all this other stuff. I mean, of course, to a degree. It's not like I'm gonna go to some random YouTuber and be like, "Hey, you want to do a video with me?" and they're gonna say yes. Obviously, there's a lot of thought that goes into some of these collaborations, etc. But, they're not. But if I go to someone that's near my exposure, that's one thing. DSP has decent exposure, he has decent name recognition, to the point where if he could go to anyone, he could actually, arguably, he could go to Mega 64 and be like, "Hey guys, and do whatever," and they probably wouldn't care. Whatever. He puts himself in this box. That's the problem. He puts himself in a little box, and it's he either thinks it's a torture thing that he's in that box, or it's a good thing he's in the box. But it's never consistent in how he views that box.
For anyone on the internet, whether it's me, whether it's LTG, whether it's Wings, whether it's Boogie, whether it's...
And again, yet again, why is it that he's this cordial and this, down to earth with Wings, who has said a lot of shit about him and all this other stuff, but LTG, he's fuck this guy. Let's embarrass him and not leave him alone. It is so peculiar why LTG gets different kinds of treatment.
Everyone has these detractors. They'll kind of just latch on to these memes, right? These dumb memes. And to be honest, if you just watch the videos and you see them for what they really are, videos that are going to expose some, weaknesses of the person, but if you realize that it's not the end of the world and you can just have a laugh at the videos, then it's great.
This is insane, Cope. Oh my god. I'm just floored at this. Years of saying people who watch troll content are fucked in the head, they don't have a good life, they don't have a family, nobody loves them, they need to get help, they need to get electrotherapy, all this nonsense. Says all this nonsense to then say, well, if you watch it and realize not the end of the world and have a laugh, that's fine. What if that's how people watch detractor content anyway? I mean, obviously, of course, you could argue when he says he's talking about the fringe, but why do you need to talk about that in the first place? Of course, there's fringe people on the internet. It's the internet. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of moving parts that happen. And you'd think the guy who says, well, what's on the internet isn't real would understand that, because on one hand, it's yeah, you're not going to necessarily see everyone that's that says crazy shit online is not going to necessarily act the same way IRL, and vice versa. There's all these things, because it's not a very easy thing for a casual person to fucking rationalize anyway. But this dude to say this, it's ridiculous. It just shows how what he says in videos are just out of pure emotion and current feelings on things that make him sound cool than he actually is.
It's fine. The problem is there's people who just obsess over this shit. They do, and they go crazy. And the next thing you know, they're wishing harm and horrible things on people on the internet, which is fucked up beyond belief. That never should get to that level.
Okay, but he says, but then he would blame the YouTubers for that. You could argue, I mean, arguably you could say that maybe the environment of videos in some cases that are disingenuous and all this other stuff, that's one, that's one argument. And that's almost a separate thing from talking about people who act upon bad on bad impulses and bad thoughts. Like, these are two like separate things. Sure, they may base a lot of their stuff on the things that they see around them, but it's all different uh different things. Like, it's not easy to necessarily like point blame. That's why like it's not worth it to be like it's this thing's fault, it's that thing's fault. It's like there's a lot of like working parts.
That level, but it does. And that's what's sad, is that people can't tell the difference. Like, I truly feel like maybe these people maybe don't like Wings, all right? But they don't want him to be murdered. They don't want him to completely go bankrupt and end up in the streets. They just wish that he would improve. And that's
So okay, we have this channel that says Wings of Redemption says he is not making enough money, and then he has an honest thumbnail, boo-hoo, no money. Like, that's one example. And I'm sure there's like other examples of them like mocking Wings for caring about money and all this other stuff and laughing that he can't make money sometimes or whatever. But he's telling us this.
these people maybe don't like Wings, all
They
right?
want to see him
But they don't want him to be
improve.
murdered. They don't want him to completely go bankrupt and end up in the streets. They just wish that he would improve.
But when like DSP trolls say, well, DSP's streams suck ass and he really should play the Battle of the Gay Tony without the mods, that is wishing him harm. Like, go back to the suggestion box and you'll see immediately how he acts to actual constructive criticism versus criticism that's like, Phil, I think you should like wear a blue shirt. I think your content would look good if like you get a nicer chair. And you'd be like, wow, that's such good feedback. And then when it's like, Phil, I think like when your podcast, like when you have these dead air in the Q&A, that's when you should end the podcast. So you're telling me I should end the podcast when I don't have anything to say? When I still have something to say? This is terrible. I'm doing this so this is a stupid this is a troll suggestion.
And that's the thing, that they make the case he never improves, okay? So anyway, after having watched some of this guy's content, I saw him repeatedly say stuff like, I hate playing games on the internet. I really wish I didn't have to do it, but this is how I make my living.
And again, he told us he has no time to watch troll videos, drama videos. He's not a drama guy. He's against the TMZ lifestyle and this and that. And look at him now. Look at this bitch now. Years of like bragging how he doesn't watch drama content. Yeah, I watch drama content. Yeah, man. Okay.
You know, he quit Lalcow Live, then he went back, first he got fired from Lalcow Live, then he went back, then he quit, then he's in limbo, then he's gone again, and I just keep seeing him say stuff in his content like he wishes that he could do a show where he could talk with someone about stuff, but it's not a show that he had to set up, but instead he could just be there as a guest. And I'm thinking, this is literally what we could have done years ago. What I wanted to do with the guy. Like I said, let's have a show. I have a show. I literally have the show. All he has to do is show up for it. But he never does. He just ghosts me, right? So I made like one final effort a couple weeks ago. All right. I unblocked him, first of all, because remember, I'd been pissed that he had been, ghosting me for so long. And then remember, he had responded to me like a month and a half ago.
Look how petty this is. He's blocking him because he didn't respond to him. Usually, you block if the person's like harassing you or annoying you or whatever the fuck, and you just don't want to deal with them, so you block them. I just sometimes block people if it's like I think it's a bot, bad vibes, or I just don't want to see their posts. Like straight up, it's like if I know some people get like retweeted enough just in general and I just don't like want to read what they want to read, I'll just block that as well. Those are the kind of things that I block based on. It's like I just don't want to see it. There you go. I mean, now the blocking is a little bit different on Twitter, dude, but that's usually why I block people. I rarely, like, there's been only very like handful of people I blocked because they were like being really annoying to me, but it's like majority of them it's just like I don't want to see this, block. Like there you go.
and said, "Oh, I'll be on your show now. And by the way, I'm sorry that I never responded to you, but it was all because Keemstar told him to." Keemstar was looking for more go and said, "Oh, I'll be on your show now. And by the way, I'm sorry that I never responded to you, but it was all because Keemstar told him to."
But guess what though? Guess what, gang? He said for months that he wants to talk to Keem. He wants to talk to the manager.
Keemstar was looking for more guests and more content for Lolcow Live, which has been drying up recently.
And you know what? I've said this before. It's kind of low-key bullshit, right? He made a big deal during that whole thing. You do something for them, then they do something for you, you do something for that, whatever, right? Keemstar went to the Level 1 podcast for Phil, and he has yet to return the favor. Like, think about that. He made a big deal saying how people would do that you do something for them, they do something for you. Keem did something for him, and he did nothing for Keem. And look how he's talking about it. He still owes Keem for that favor, dude. When's he gonna pay up?
So he just did what he was told. And that pisses me off. It really does. When you only talk to me when you get told by your boss to do it.
No. Philip. You mocked Boogie and Wings for that reason alone. You didn't mock Keem for doing that. No, you didn't. During that whole thing, he's like, "Oh, so you only want to talk to me because Keem told you to? Well, you're a bunch of so he's your master, right?" As I said before, if you want to see like if he makes it sound as if they're slaves, taking the autonomy out of their like decisions and this and that, not knowing that it's like a collaborative effort to run this show, and he's making it sound negative. But whatever.
To do it, you won't do it as like a real person. That's so disingenuous, right? So finally,
because they have a responsibility to Lolcow Live at the time. Like, dude, that Boogie video straight says, "Look, I have to do this because of Lolcow Live. You know, that comes first." And he's mocking that mentality when he said he understood that. Now it's like, this is fucked up. They're doing this because of what Keem said. Yeah, because they worked on a show together.
I unblocked him, and I sent a message, and I said, "I really feel like you're stuck, and if we just work together, it could be."
Oh my god! And then he's doing a pity party for Wings. He wants to be his saving angel. He wants to be the dude that picks Wings while he's down and out, and then lift him up. Dude, let's say that he shows up on Monday and that stream is a perceived success. The next day or the next week or whatever, Wings gets let's say a $5 bump in his revenue or whatever the fuck. DSP, get ready for, guys. Look, Wings. Yeah, he went on Joke, but now he's doing pretty good. He went on my show, and now he's doing really good, guys. He's actually doing pretty good. I'm so proud of Wings. He's actually doing so good for his family, and this and that. He's ready to suck himself off again. Like, this dude's narcissism is insane. He tried with Rich, didn't work out. He's trying with Wings. Wings is the next best thing because Wings is also fat, just as Rich, and as pathetic. And DSP thinks he can mold the Wings in whatever direction he wants him to be, because DSP always thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. He thinks he can get someone on his little show and they'll leave completely pignatized. That's what he did with side scrollers. That's what that's all this is. This is just another segment to get someone else to fight for him. That's all this is.
It could be something interesting and original and fun. I don't know why you've ghosted me and disrespected me for all these years. So he finally responded. He basically said to me that he's been going through depression. He's still going through depression. And that's the reason why he treats me like that. Now, I can tell you guys something. I've gone through depression. I know what it's, and he's still going through depression.
I am tempted to try to find somewhere during the stream he mocked that.
Ignorant.
Ignorant.
In my chat and apparently was trying to talk to me. I didn't see it. So he has content for his stream. Maybe he's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, doesn't make any sense. If he wants to play Call of Duty with me, some Call of Duty together. Anyway, consider them troll tips fine out because their significant other left them. It's like, dude, look at yourself. You're a prime example of why you should be working out and be medicine. It's going to be stream and he eats it on stream. It's like, dude, you got to do better for yourself. But no, now is the time to work out so much. The weight bench, I could go get back into shape the way I was in my 20s. I'd be clear, I'm not fighting anyone. That's incredibly stunt. I'm cardio, which I could gas with. Really? You think you're Dalzim? Do you think that your leg stretches? Who was it said he beat? Oh.
Okay.
Hilariously, he brags match. It doesn't. So bench, squats, overhead press. Okay, I have a ridiculous workout, and this builds up your for the first time.
Okay, maybe it's not in this clip.
Okay, so then he just sat there, and he tried to type in my chat and talk to me.
Whatever, but he mocked that too.
Depression, and that's the reason why.
I'm really tempted to try to find it.
He did a $5 super chat and says,
Maybe it'll be in the transcripts. Where is the transcripts? Can I like find it? There we go. Oh my god. Is there a way to search?
she broke up with him and there was charges filed and a restraining order. So busy this time of year with insane, awesome releases. Now, there are that level of releases coming out. That's worse than the first game. Wow, I'm glad I waited. These Nuggets DSP tries. I will do that. For every $5 contribution coming in, I will do a different finger pointing. All right. This one, I can't. That's it. That's limit. I can't pull it all the way straight. So I messed up the other. So I don't give a fuck. Really, that's messed up. That's pretty underhanded behavior, don't you think? To just be disingenuous for 3. Right. I feel bad for the guy. Genuinely, I do. That's happened to him and that's the life situation he's in. But you got to understand that his behavior is self-fabricated. His
self-fabricated behavior.
Behavior is a cycle that he's stuck in. Why doesn't DSP want to do anything with Wings? Well, for 3 fucking years, he ignored me and treated me like shit. Now, all of a sudden, because things aren't going well for him, now he thinks, oh, wait, now if I collab with Phil, it'll benefit me. Well, I don't care anymore. Get it? I wanted it to be nice to you when it was just like us wanting to do stuff together, not that you're desperate like you are. So I don't give a fuck. Really, that's messed up. That's pretty underhanded behavior, don't you think?
Underhanded behavior. Look at this. He's like
to just be disingenuous for 3-4 years, and then all of a sudden now I want to play with Phil. Well, now I don't care. Now you can go fucking sit there and play with your same friend group over and over where you can't even hold 200 viewers. You complain about it every stream. I'm sorry. I just don't give a shit. Okay? You had your chance.
He had his chance. But guess what, gang? He got another chance! Oh my god.
Why he treats me like that. Now, I can tell you guys something. That he's been going through depression. He's still going.
This dude is so he was calling Wings disingenuous, two-faced. This is being two-faced. He literally was saying it's self-fabricated. He's stuck in a cycle. I don't care. He's desperate. Fuck off. I don't care anymore. He had his chance. To then say, well, he's just depressed. Now he cares about his depression. But when he talked about it immediately, he's like, oh, this is, I don't care, he had his chance. It's self-fabricated.
There's one situation. If he apologized to me and was like, I'm sorry that I dissed you.
Oh, he has to apologize. Just to go on his knees and be like, Phil, I'm sorry. I'm
for like
sorry.
3-4 years. And
I'm
sorry if
ghosted you.
if it looks like I'm trying to take advantage of the situation now, maybe then I would consider.
Oh my god! And then DSP accuses him in a way that he was trying to take advantage of him. But he's like, well, he's depressed. If this dude understood that Wings was depressed, he wouldn't be talking to him like this. Is this how you talk to depressed people? Okay.
Still going through depression. And that's the reason why he treats me all these years. So he finally responded. He basically said to me that he's been going through depression. He's still going through depression. And that's the reason why he treats.
Again, if DSP had depression, he would understand that because there's no cure for depression. I mean, there's ways you can control it and all that. Like as he claimed in his depression podcast years ago, which is a load of shit. But the way he cured it was to play video games and make money and have a wife. That makes sense.
He treats me like that. Now, I can tell you guys something. I've gone through depression. I know what it's like. When you're depressed.
Again, if he knew what it was like, why the fuck was he blaming Wings for all this stuff? Oh, he's in a self-fabricated delusion. He constantly is lying. He's doing this. I don't care. No more chances.
Consider. And by the way, he would also have to stop saying dumb, fucked up things about me all day. Dark side, Phil, I would be in a fight. Oh. All to just be disingenuous for 3-4 us wanting to do stuff together. Things aren't going well for him. Behavior is a cycle. Doesn't operate properly anymore with what you've done to it. It's fucked up. So I get it. It's kind of like people are looking at him in this grotesque way, and that's not right. I feel bad for the guy, genuinely, I do. That's happened to him, and that's the life situation he's in.
Probably only because he's fat. If he was, like, not fat, I don't know how sympathetic he'd be.
But you got to understand that his behavior is self-fabricated. His behavior is a cycle that he's stuck in.
Yeah, like, he's victim blaming, and he told us doing that is the worst thing you could do to someone. But he understands depression, guys. And by the way, he said that during the depression stream. It's terrible to say this about people with depression. Don't ever blame them, or whatever the fuck. And then he's blaming the dude with depression. But here, he notice he never mentions that. He never mentions Wings was depressed. But he brings up his depression in a video where he's trying to, like, explain why he wanted him on his show. So he is actively trying to use his depression as a way to benefit, in a way.
You feel like you don't deserve anything. You feel like you're not good enough for anything. You feel like you're the dirt on the bottom of everyone else's shoe.
And this description is such a textbook description. You feel it's like depression. There's a lot of feelings people can feel about depression. Like there's a lot going on. Come on.
And if anything positive comes up for you, a lot of the times, completely inexplicably, you will ruin that opportunity.
Oh my god. And then he's trying to say that he was the positive opportunity for Wings. And that's why Wings sabotaged it. And again, that's not necessarily how depression works. Not in that cartoonish way. Like, because a lot of people who are depressed also do have employment. They do go to work and all this other stuff. Like, depression is a big thing. There's a lot of, like, things about it. I'm not an expert, but I don't think it's as simple as, like, yeah, I don't deserve it. That's I don't think that's just it with depression. This dude, I hate when he talks about depression because it just sounds so disgusting, and it just sounds like he just wants to sound as if, like, he's so understanding, and it's like hard to take him seriously. And especially when he's talking about this, when he's trying to explain why you tried to have him on. And then you take this segment into consideration, and it sounds nonsense. again, the State of Decay 2 tweet situation constantly just shoots that whole thing in the foot 1,000 times. Yeah, I made that tweet because of my depression. I made this tweet, everyone was a bitch about it. Yeah, because this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
You will treat the person being nice to you like dirt because you feel like you don't deserve to be treated nicely.
Were you treating Wings nicely? Hello? He called him a liar. A liar. Thousands of times in the past. He constantly was being negative towards him. Saying he didn't want to work with him anymore. Numerous times. And he's like, yeah, man, like, he did this because I was such a positive guy. You were not fucking positive. I'm sure you wasn't, like, actively evil. Like, but that, like, come on.
Okay, I've done it. I know for a fact in my past I have done that because I was depressed. There's entire friendships I literally broke off and ended for no reason.
No, 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 no. This is low-key bullshit. This is the friendships we never heard of. Because the Howard and Rambo situation was very clearly because of communication problems, and he moved across the country. And he didn't want to grapple with that. Then he hid behind, well, I can't reach them. I can't call them. And then he said all this other stuff. Like, this is completely, like, coincidental. And he was completely shitty towards Howard. Like, he completely was being an asshole to him. To the point where Howard could easily argue that Phil was, like, harassing him. And gaslighting him. Because, like, during the react that needs to be done on the phone, on the fucking, Rambo and Howard thing, Howard said, well, he was moving, and I wanted to spend time with my girlfriend, but Phil, like, guilt-tripped me to show up, so I went there. It's fucked up, and Phil's like, yeah, I wanted him to feel bad, so I did that, and all this stuff. He was, like, celebrating that. And then, like, when Howard was like, I did this, and he didn't want to pay me. Howard, we're not friends. Why would I pay you? It's really weird behavior. And he's like, yeah, I don't know why I just did this because of my depression. Fuck off. Like, it's so like, you know, obvious. Like, if one person was being charitable, they may, like, be willing to say, well, they may have depression, and I'd understand that. But all these stories don't really make sense, and I can't help but feel that this dude is just, like, using depression as a way to boost himself up. And it's like at this point, just don't talk about it. Like, I feel if the perception around it is like that, then don't talk about it. DSP is like the least, like, person I want to hear from him about this.
Okay, so coming from that position myself, when he said that, I kind of understood what he was saying. At the same time,
no, you didn't. If he did, then what the fuck was the stream?
Why doesn't DSP situation he's in? But you got to understand that his behavior is self-fabricated.
Why can't he just say it was he was going through depression and this and that, right? But no, he puts it in a position that makes Wings look bad, highlights how bad his life choices are, and kind of pushes Wings down more. But he understands that he's depressed. So then that tells me that he knew he was depressed and did this anyway. Isn't that what a bully does? Wouldn't a bully try to find a weakness and kind of use it against the person? That's what this does not make him look good at all. And again, he doesn't put anything he says in like perspective. He says whatever on stream, the next day he'll forget what he says or not care about it. He doesn't believe in a single thing he says on his streams. He will tell you today, look into the camera, look down your fucking eye and say, I believe pigs can fly. Then the next day he'll say, I never said that. I don't believe pigs can fly. And you're like, what? You told me that. And he will sell you down the river. This dude is a load of shit.
This isn't like, oh, he did it once, he did it twice. It's weird how it's wishy-washy, okay? So basically he said saying, at the same time, This isn't like, oh, he did it once, he did it twice. It's weird how it's wishy-washy.
Because depression doesn't go away. Like, again, if he knew about depression, he'd understand it doesn't just go away. Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So basically, he said that to me, and I went back to him, and we had a little bit of a conversation back and forth. And after that conversation, we basically ended it at, well, why don't we just hang out? Why don't we just have a stream where we just chill, where we just have a conversation? It doesn't have to be long. It could be 45 minutes. It could be 2 hours. Depends on how long.
Yeah, dude, this almost sounds like Wings like sent him like a suicide note or whatever, and DSP is like, no, come on my stream, I'll talk you out of it or some shit. This sounds so like weird, but it's just so he can pignatize Wings. That's all this is. He wants to pignatize Wings and then brag about how he like helped Wings out or whatever. It's just all to suck his dick. Like, that's what he did all the time. The fucking Rich documentary he reacted to. Rich, I'll give you one chip, and you can come back, and I believe in you. And then he tried to, like, do that with the fucking Kino Casino thing and the Level 666 podcast. Like, all this is a self-vanity project. That's all this is. It's all to make him look good. Like, this is what people, like, accuse celebrities doing when the celebrities, like, participate in, like, charity events and all this stuff. It's to make them look good. That's what he's doing in a more shameless way. And kind of more egregious, too. Because at least celebrities, like, go to an organization. And this and that. And that can actually, produce some results. This is, like, nothing. And it's going to be an easy thing for him to brag about.
How long we want it to go. But why don't we just chill and see what happens? People have been asking for DSP and Wings to do something for years and years and years and years. People just want to see us have a conversation because we never have. Do you know that, right? Literally, the two of us have never once spoken to each other. There's been a few texts back and forth and emails back and forth, and that's it. There's been no actual back and forth conversation between us ever in history. He's talked about me a ton.
Wow, ever in history.
But we've never had this conversation. Okay? So basically, I proposed this to him. He seems to like the idea. All right?
All right.
So I said, well, we talked about scheduling or whatever. Initially, I actually wanted to have him on this week. He said, no, I want to go on next week. I said, well, I'm not going to push him. I'm not going to try to rush him and scare him away. Fine. If he wants to do it next week, we can do it next week.
Oh my God, scare him away like he's a fucking deer. I see a deer. I don't want to scare him away.
So, we talked about days, and it looks like maybe Monday of next week would be the best.
Again, like, he talked about how he's depressed, and he's like, I don't want to scare him. I mean, that's kind of insensitive. You're kind of, like, belittling his whole, like, thing, right? Why? Huh?
Best day for him.
Whatever.
Okay. I told him the times I stream. All right. I basically told him what I would like to do is to have him on during the time frame when I would do the Level 1 podcast. So basically, it would just be a special edition of the show where we'll have him on as a guest. Okay. And there is no specific topic. It is not, oh, we're going to have you on and we got to talk about this and drama. And it's nothing like that at all. It's just supposed to be a hangout session. Now, we might very well get into dramatic topics. I don't know. Okay? I know.
Oh my God.
It's just supposed to be a hangout session. Now, we might very well get.
It's just a hangout session, but we may get into drama content. Topics. So, is he going to start talking about the trolls? Is that what he's going to try to work towards during this little conversation? Again, like, the Level 666 podcast, twofold, shows that people should not work with DSP, like, at all, ever in their life, because by his own admission, he snaked the casino and lied to them. And the scope of his lies entailed saying that his wife has a terminal disease, which is, like, super cool to say, right? And they had multiple pets and they all died, or whatever. That's the extent he was willing to lie to someone and string them along. Then on the other end, you have him lure RTU onto his stream, not telling him that it was actually going to be about Kino Casino, and then get frustrated that he didn't play ball, and then kicked him off. And then you're going to say, well, we may get into drama content. We may do this, guys. So this is kind of telling me he has an ulterior motive to getting Wings on. And that may not necessarily be at Wings' expense, but it may put him in a position he doesn't want to be in. And this is also coming from the guy that wants to be a positive content creator. And then he's clickbaiting drama content. Now I love the idea that DSP, when other people want to reach out to him, they have to talk about video games. He does not want to talk about drama or anything else. But if he reaches out, we can talk about drama. We may do that. So it's okay for him to do it, but no one else. Right.
I don't know. Okay? I know immediately every time I bring this guy's name up, I get people say, what about when he pushed his wife down and shit like that?
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't even really know about that. I've seen it.
I don't really know much about it. I've seen it. I mean, I know more than him about it. And I don't really watch Wings content. Like, I talked about in the last video about this. That it's like, yeah, she tried to, like, get him to stop because he was gonna do something, like, stupid or whatever. And he pushes her, like, he shoves her down and all that. And he made it sound like a Three Stooges bit. He just couldn't control himself. He didn't know what he was doing. It was like, oh, I'm Humpty Dumpty and I can't control myself. Because that's how that works. Because, fat people, they just can't control themselves. Maybe that's what happens. He sees Kat walking around and she's just like this the whole time. And she's like throwing plates on the ground. Maybe that's why they have paper plates. She broke all of the silverware. She just couldn't control herself. She had a Humpty Dumpty moment.
Everyone's seen the clip, right? But I have never seen it in context. I don't watch lolcow content. I'm never going.
The context, I don't think the context the only important context would be if you want to know why Wings was so mad at Keem that he wanted to, like, get involved. But at the end of the day, Wings was upset. That his wife was trying to hold him back because, and he pushed her. Now, of course, it's not like that he, like, was like, oh, dumb bitch, don't talk back to me. It was just literally, I want to do what I want. Stop trying to stop me. Like, sure, I mean, and arguably you could argue that they worked through that or whatever because, they're still together. But you could still say it's a bad action and all this other stuff. But he's like, I don't know the full story. I don't know I don't know the full story as much or whatever. I just know he was upset at Keem. And he was upset at something and then that happened. That's it. Like, it's not that complicated. It's not like the camera was in a funny direction and something happened that looked like it was something else or whatever the fuck.
We're going to. So I don't actually
and know what it's like so funny to me that this dude gets clipped. He talks about clips being out of context all the time. But, like, this clip of it with Wings is so clear and direct that he's like, I don't know, man. Now, this may get some people upset, but look, I'm not gonna, like, tell you how to think as I always do. But, he keeps side-noting or, like, kind of, like, saying on the side about, like, the Hassan clip that's been going around the collar gate and all that. And despite it, you can think whatever about that collar gate. I'm not gonna tell you what to think. To me, I don't think it's that conclusive because the camera's, like, far away off. I see why people think that. I do see it. I do see what people, like, why people would say that he used a shot collar. So I wouldn't say that it's out of nowhere, but I just think it's just bad timing and, like, it just looks too coincidental and all this other stuff. So, like, to me, I don't know. And I also don't like to like throw that kind of accusation that willy-nilly. But he was willing to just 100% agree that that's what happened. No, like, thought of, like, well, because he didn't see the clip. He doesn't understand the clip. He doesn't understand, like, anything after that. I mean, you can think whatever. You know, I'm not gonna tell you what to think about it. You know, I'm just saying like that I need a little bit more like proof of that. I'm not gonna like really throw my head in. I just don't think he used the shock collar. But that's just me. That's my personal thought. But again, a lot of people like latch on these clips that are out of context or whatever, and they can say whatever. This is not that like abstract in comparison between the collar gate and then the video of Wings pushing his wife down. Like, one is more direct than the other. That's all. And he's willing to say the one that's a little bit more like, that is more open to like think about. That one he's like, yeah, that's what happened. But the thing that's like more direct, that you see Wings push someone down, you see the energy and all this other stuff. It's like, come on. You know what I'm saying?
Happened there. He absolutely, positively says he did not intentionally knock his wife down. It was an accident and she was fine and she was upset with him after the fact. It was just a mistake, I don't know. Positively says he did not intentionally knock his wife down. It was an accident and she was fine and she was upset with him after the fact. It was just a mistake, I don't know. But a lot of people
What
are
did
saying,
she say?
don't have him on the show because he knocked his wife down.
Well, I mean, like, of course, of course he's gonna say that. I mean, I could see them working through that because, again, like, I don't know their relationship. Like, I don't know how, like, do they get that, like, angry all the time? I don't know. It was just that one clip's a bad clip because of what happened. Now, he could argue, to be at least a little fair, that maybe it is blown out of proportion. If those who are willing to work through that, whatever. Like, that's fine. He can argue that all he wants. It's just it is kind of silly that it's like, well, he didn't mean it. Like, I mean, what does that really mean though? Like, he did intentionally like push her out of the way. I mean, maybe he didn't intend for her to fall on the table or something. Maybe he just meant to like for her to like be pushed back, like whatever. But the force was there. Like, it's just a bad clip. I mean, it's so weird to argue this. There's other arguments you can make about that clip all you want. But come on now, dog.
I'm sure a lot of people can say, don't have Darkside Phil on your show because he charged $1,000 to show his cat on stream and he plays WWE champions.
Maybe that's what the people who said Kiwi Farms said, right? Oh, you charge $1,000 to show off a cat. But the reason why people say that is because DSP brags the most about being the most moral guy with principles. And he's very open, and this did not seem like a principled take. He was more upset that Wings was dodging him than he was about Wings pushing him over, pushing his wife over, and all this other stuff. Like, he seemed more upset about that than anything else. Didn't care at all about Wings being having depression. Didn't care about that at all. But the fact he goes from that, he took that personally.
I don't know. It's hard because I've come from that position too, where people say the dumbest shit, and I know this stuff is just so stupid, but people actually like listen to it and believe it, and then hate me for it. So anyway, I would love to just have him on the show, have a conversation with him. Again, whether it's a half an hour, whether it's 2 hours, I don't know how it's gonna go. It could be the most boring conversation in human history. It could be a very interesting conversation, depending on the topics we talk about, what we have to say. I don't know, right?
I don't know.
And I just want to, like I said, I've been open to giving stuff chances. I've been trying, but people won't work with me, not because of me, but because of the troll element.
What this tells me is that if Boogie hits him up, he would still go through the effort of getting him on. So all this time of him saying, "I'm never doing this, I'm tired of it," all that is just out of pure frustration, and all this and pure emotion, like a little baby, and he does, and that's it, because he's a giant baby. He didn't mean it genuinely. Nothing he says he ever means.
Because of getting harassed online, getting doxxed online, they don't want to be a part of anything with me, and that's not my fault. There's nothing I can do about that. In this case, Wings have literally been trolled just as much as me. So I don't think that he's really afraid of that. Okay? Now, you might say, well, if all this is true, Phil, why are you only bringing it up now? Why didn't you tell us all along? Why didn't you even say anything yet? Why is Wings talking about this in his content, but you're not talking about it in yours? All right?
All
It's
right.
pretty simple. I don't like to overpromise and underdeliver. I don't want to tell you that I'm going to have a guest on my show until it is a lock. Okay? Because imagine.
Okay, but at this point in time, Wings confirmed he's going to be on there on Monday. DSP can announce it and schedule it. Now, here's the thing, right? Let's say Wings decides he doesn't want to do it. DSP can just cancel, do a normal level 1 podcast, and then play whatever game he's gonna play that day. Like, that's what he could do. He's acting as if, like, if Wings cancels his little show, DSP's streaming career is gonna end and implode, and Cat's gonna leave him, and everyone's gonna, like, cry and, like, go crazy. That's not what's gonna happen. But okay.
Like I said, there were 3 or 4 different people who either were slated to be on my show or who I was going to do collaborative work with last year. Okay? And then they all canceled because they were all afraid of being harassed online by crazy people on Kiwi Farms.
But that's... When did they cancel, though? Again, he didn't schedule anything. There was no time. So, like, you know, he acts as if this was set in stone. Because if it was set in stone, as he so claims, people would already know who they were, and then they'd been harassed anyway. But if they canceled way before the point of being announced, then it couldn't work out. Whatever.
And this is not me trying to scapegoat. This is exactly what happened. 3 different people said I can't do it because I found out about the shit that happens on Kiwi Farms and I can't be involved in that. So, in this case, I don't want to tell you guys he's coming on the show until we have 100% secured every single thing needed to have him on the show and it's locked in. So what's the status right now? Here's the status. About 3 days ago, maybe 2.5, okay? I last talked to him, and where we were at was, send me your Discord info so I can send you a Discord invite. That way we'll be on each other's friends list. Then let's lock in the exact time that you're going to appear, and then I'll talk about the show. Okay? That way we'll be on each other's friends list. Then let's lock in the exact time that you're going to appear, and then I'll talk about the show. Okay?
He's gonna appear the same time as all his other guests. What's there to lock in? Okay.
He sends me his Discord info. I send him the invite. That was over 2 days ago. He hasn't added me to Discord. He hasn't responded. I went back to him again and said, hey, did you get my Discord invite? Hasn't responded. Okay. Don't know what time he's going to be on the show. Like, do you see my point? Does it sound familiar? It sounds like exactly what happened with Boogie. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're interested.
And then I like how he says this is what happened with Boogie. During this, he said that's what happened with Wings. But because that's where we got it's like handling eels. It's doing this.
I really want to do it, but then when I try to get the details locked in, where are they? It's been over 2 days. He's not talking. And before you say, oh, he's been sleeping for 2 days like Swaggy just said, no, he's streaming.
This is really, like, silly. This is really silly because, again, remember, guys, DSP is not Chicken Little. He doesn't freak out when the sky is falling. But this is him freaking out. He has no reason to think right now that he's gonna cancel on Monday. Why not? I don't know. Just schedule it in. Say it's Monday, and then when Monday comes around, and Wings doesn't show up, just move on and say Wings canceled, bye-bye, right? Why not just do that? Whatever.
So is he, again, purposefully dodging me? Because he's having second thoughts? That doesn't make sense because he's literally saying in these streams that he's going to be on the show on Monday. Now, all I can do is guess. Here's my guess. Wings and Boogie are the kind of people who literally wait till the last minute for everything. They literally just go to the absolute last minute procrastination. Okay? In Wings' mind, he doesn't have to actually add.
DSP acts as if he's an actual TV network. And the scheduling, it's like a big deal. It's like when an author gets an interview deal on a talk show. That's what DSP is. Dude, this is the future of, guys, I think we found the future of late night. They're just gonna become streamers. That's what's gonna happen. Then we can have this confusing like thing. It's gonna be crazy. They're gonna go all on Discord.
Add me on Discord or tell me what time he's gonna be on the show until 5 minutes before. Maybe I'm wrong, okay? But it seems like to me that's how these people are. That's not how I am, okay? I have a very analytical planning mindset. I like to have my schedule laid out throughout the entirety of a week.
Oh, this sounds very specific.
I like to have my schedule completely laid out so I know what I'm doing, when I'm doing it. I literally have the schedule plastered all over my channel, my X account. You guys know where I'm going to be and what I'm going to be doing at almost all times for about a week, okay? Now, those things change from time to time, but hey, at least you know. And people have praised me over the years, saying, listen, you can hate on Phil and say his content sucks, but no one's going to say that guy doesn't work a lot and work hard. He's got a set schedule. He's there for that schedule. He's got the content.
How is that working hard? Guys, he has a schedule. He's working so hard. Oh my God, he has a schedule. Whoa.
Doesn't overpromise and underdeliver. I'm not one of these people that...
He overpromised the Ballad of Gay Tony, and he underdelivered by canceling it. So, what about that?
Just randomly turned my stream on. Everyone rushed to the stream. No, you know when my stream is on. That's why every time I turn on my stream, I have consistent viewership. That's something that I think a lot of people need to learn. If you actually want to get consistent viewership and consistent support, then you have to be consistent. Because it comes hand in hand. Your consistency, you'll get consistent results if you're consistent. Okay?
Okay.
So, in regards to this situation, I don't have Wings on my Discord yet. I don't have a guaranteed time he's showing up. Therefore, I haven't announced his appearance. That's how I am. But now he's talking about it so much, I had to address it on my show. Now, by the way, I have absolutely no hard feelings and no ill will towards him because of this.
Wait a minute, what was that?
But now he's talking about it so much, I had to address it on my show. Now, by the way, I have absolutely no hard feelings and no ill will towards him because of this.
It was like it sounds like a bird, but I think it's like, what's it called? I don't know. I feel like that cat's cleaning something maybe, or something's just rubbing against something. I don't know. But anyways, I like he says I don't have any ill will for this. He was so butthurt about Craig announcing the interview ahead of time. He was butthurt about, like, Craig put out the bumper that they were gonna get Phil on for their show, and DSP was mad. He was butthurt that they jumped the gun. But I was like, I don't hold it against Wings for doing that. It's fine. Okay, man.
I wish that he had the same kind of mind that I do, the analytical, planning out style mind. Like I said, I literally like to have an outline of shit. Like when I have a day off, I'm not shitting you. When I have a day off, okay, I plan the shit I'm doing during the day. What do we got to do today? Oh, we got to go to Costco.
Oh my God.
We got
Loki was kind of funny. He has the YouTube the play button. You can see the fan turn like working, I think. So it's like, I thought we don't have the fans. I thought it was cool.
Go to the grocery store. We got to go to the pet store. We got to go over here and do this. We want to go do this. What about dinner? Well, what food is in the area that we're going to be in that day for dinner? So,
oh my God, this is really ridiculous. Like, Of course, when you're doing errands, you do plan out things to be more convenient because you're going out. But
Let's
whatever. Okay.
now weigh and balance the different places that we could eat. Oh man, we just had Mexican food a couple weeks ago, so we can't do that. So instead, maybe we could do this or that. This is how my mind works. And for some people, that might sound crazy. It might drive you nuts. Like, why does your mind work like that? Don't you ever do anything sporadic? Oh, I do. There's certainly times where I'm just driving around. Oh, there's something interesting. Let's just check that out. But for the most part, that's how my mind has always worked. It's planning everything out. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. And
Boom, boom,
that's
boom.
how I like to run my business. So that's why you don't hear me casually saying, oh, yeah, Wings is going to be on, because he hasn't been locked yet. He's not a locked appearance. He apparently thinks he is, even though he's not on my Discord, and we don't even have a time frame yet that he's showing up on Monday. But, you know.
Well, why not
So
assume
anyway,
that he will show
that's what's
up?
going on. So here's the thing. I would absolutely,
Whatever.
positively love to have him on the show on Monday, just to hang out. Just a hangout session. Whatever topic comes up, comes up. Okay? But at the same time,
It's so disingenuous. I can't get over. Oh, whatever topic comes up, man. Yeah, I trust Phil, right? Yeah, I'm gonna get Rich on. Rich, let's chill in the casino. Ah, yes.
I don't know what's going to happen because we haven't locked it in yet. So he can talk about it as much as he wants on his own streams, but until he responds to me, the person who runs this show, nothing is set yet. Okay? He needs to add me on Discord and he needs to say, okay, I'm going to show up at this time. Because here's what I would like to do. Start the show like I usually do around 11:30. Do about a half an hour build up. Get you guys all hyped up for his appearance till like noonish. Then around noon, get him on the show. Have him hang out for about an hour, hour and a half. And then after that, do our usual decompression where we hang out for like an hour and we talk about what just happened. I answer questions.
We talk about what just happened. Yeah, so I got Wings on and like he showed up. Can you guys believe it? And I think he's actually gonna turn his life around. Now he's gonna be a success story.
Shout outs, because here's the thing. If he's on the show, all right, it's going to be him and me hanging out. It's not going to be him and me and giant pop-ups coming on the screen of trolls trying to fuck with this guy or anything. No. He's giving me his attention. He's giving me his time. That's a valuable asset. Therefore, I give him my respect. So there will not be pop-ups. There will not be bullshit going on. I won't be doing shout-outs. It's just going to be him and me hanging out. After giving me his time, that's a valuable asset. Therefore,
a valuable asset. He's giving me his time. That's a valuable asset. Oh my god.
I give him my respect. So there will not be pop-ups. There will not be bullshit going on. I won't be doing shout-outs. It's just going to be him and me hanging out. After that ends, then we have the decompression.
Then we can monetize him.
We can talk. I can do shout-outs. You know what I'm saying? Just like...
But that low-key is also, in a way, not at Wings' advantage or fairness. If you think about it. Because let's say that he shows up and he says a lot of dumb shit, right? And then Wings leaves. Then his chat shits on him. Well, Wings is gone. And he's like, well, yeah, it's fucked up. Right? Right. Okay.
The previous interviews that I've done, it'll be exactly the same, conducted the same. All right? Now, also, the crazy stuff that people are saying. Oh, this will lead to content, and this will lead to this and that, and this will lead... I don't know what's going to lead to anything. All right? Just to be honest with you. Like, I just want to hang out with the guy and just see how it goes. Because for years and years and years, people have said...
Dude, what do you think is going to happen? I like how... Oh my god. He's like saying like, what do you mean it's going to lead to content? I don't know, Phil. Maybe because Wings is a lolco and you're a lolco. What happens when you put two lolcos together? Come on.
People have said you guys should hang out and have a conversation or whatever. And we've never done it, right? So this may be a first step towards something greater. This may be a one and done. No one knows, right? Every time that I did an interview last year, I had no clue how it was going to go. And they all went different directions, right? I think, no exaggeration, like every single interview I did.
Because these interviews didn't have any plan. I love this guy saying how much he's like, yeah, these interviews, I don't know where they were going to go. Yeah, because you didn't plan it. He goes through all this trouble to just plan when they're going to show up. But he doesn't do any planning on what to ask them or anything. Which is why you get these interviews where he loses control, and the interviewee is asking the interviewer the questions. Like, it is so insane to me. He got June the King, But the worst one is the Tolo. He gets Tolomeo on his little podcast, and Tolo completely dog walks Phil. This is a guy that like doesn't have a huge presence on any degree at all, and he has no like reason to like shit on Phil or anything. No reason. If anything, it should have been an easy interview for DSP to be like, "Hey Tolo, so what are you streaming? What games are you playing, or whatever the fuck?" Instead, it just became them talking about banning Derek and all this other stuff about the trolls. How did that happen? I don't understand. And DSP completely lost control of that interview. And he said, like, "Yeah, man, this is crazy. Who knows what's gonna happen to the Wings interview?" Yeah, because he has no idea what the fuck he's gonna ask him.
I did went differently than probably how originally I thought it was going to go. I thought the Keemstar interview would be completely contentious. It was completely the opposite. I thought with Stuttering Craig, by the end of the interview, we were going to bury the hatchet, and literally, it went completely the opposite.
The whole interview with Craig was literally, "Craig, say sorry. Say you're sorry. Craig, apologize. Craig, apologize." Craig was like, "Phil, you lied about WWE champions. We were asking you about it, and you lied. So can you apologize?" "You're telling me to apologize? You should apologize. Apologize. You had a debriefing where you said I was a liar and you didn't believe my story. What the fuck?" "Yeah, because you lied." "I gave you an answer. Okay? Why the fuck are you asking me to apologize? You should apologize." That was the entire interview. The moment Craig asked for an apology, DSP completely lost it. It's just a thing. You ask him for apology. You ask him to apologize, he will lose it. Ask him to take responsibility, he will lose it. He can't handle that. So of course the Craig interview went to shit because literally DSP could not even get out of his own headspace and say, "You know what, Craig, you're right. I'm sorry. I did lie to you. I should have come forward during that interview about that, but I didn't because I was nervous about this and I didn't feel comfortable about that. Whatever." Instead, he doubles down on asking him for an interview and was then begging to get the final word of saying fuck off. That didn't work out. It was complete nonsense. And the thing is, you could even argue that Craig was also there in bad faith. However, both people in that interview were both in bad faith anyway. And at most, Craig had the easier argument to just ask for an apology than Phil has. Because Phil was just mad that they were not believing that he wasn't playing WWE Champions and laughing at memes. That is it. That was all he was upset about. Craig had more reason to ask for an apology just comparatively to what Phil was asking for. Because you can't just assume that the interviewee or whatever the interviewer is gonna just do PR damage control for the person they're interviewing. Yeah, his favorite example, Barbara Walters. Let's say Barbara Walters had Trump on, and let's say that Trump was like not coming forward in some things and was lying in other things or whatever. Barbara Walters could say the next day, "Well, he was very dodgy when I asked him this. I think he was. I didn't really believe that he was telling the truth when I asked him this." Like, whatever. She could have said that. It's not her responsibility to be like, "Well, guys, I think Trump is fine. Trump is cool." I mean, nobody would do that. Same thing with Biden, presumably, right? But like, they weren't really sitting there saying, "Yeah, fuck him." They were just saying that they thought that he was a liar. That's it. And that's, even then, it's not even that big of a deal. He could easily just apologize, and they were right on top of that. Like, so it's so dumb for him to bring this up.
Opposite way. So who knows?
Because he doesn't plan it. He doesn't plan the interviews.
I would like to just hang out with Wings for about an hour have a good time.
And I guarantee, if let's say someone brings DSP on their show, and they do the same amount of planning. I just want to hang out with Phil and shoot the shit, and then they start talking about trolls, and they talk about WWE champions. They talk about Kat divorcing him. They talk about Jasmine being declawed. They talk about this. They talk about that. And these guys say, "Yeah, that guy was so unprofessional. He had me on. Get this, he had me on, and he didn't have any questions for me. And look what he's doing now."
Talk about various topics, get his opinions on stuff. I'll give him my opinion on stuff. Maybe we'll find some common ground. Maybe we'll completely disagree on certain topics as well. Maybe we'll give each other advice. Maybe we'll laugh at each other. Who knows?
This is what he wants to do. He just gave you the blueprint. It's just literally him trying to get Wings to like suck his dick and then say that DSP is a cool guy. That's all this is. And then get Wings to like improve his life situation, however that may mean. For then DSP can brag about how he helped Wings and how that's a positive interview. It's all just to do this for Phil. Yeah, Wings, go on his little dumbass show and suck him off.
Right? I would hope that by the end we don't hate each other's guts, but maybe that'll happen too. I don't know. You know?
If you're just shooting the shit, why would that be a possibility? Like, this sounds completely like I wouldn't say it's planned. Again, I don't think he plans a lot. But he definitely has like an idea in mind for these dumbass shows. And I think for this, he just wants Wings to like say nice things about Phil and then admit that Phil is right or whatever. It's just gonna be another Lifetime special or like TBS, whatever that TLC. I think it's TLC or TCL. I don't fucking know this network name. You know, that show, the network that's like trying to improve people's lives. Maybe it's like TLC. I think it's TLC. I'm like, all these acronyms. But that's all it's gonna be. That's all it's gonna be. It's just gonna literally be just him sitting there and be like, Wings, I think you need to improve your life. I think you need to stop eating fast food. Like, that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be, DSP is gonna attempt to be a life coach for Wings. It's gonna be so embarrassing.
You never know. Like, seriously, I don't know. But who cares?
Who cares?
It's something to do, right? It's something different to do.
It's something
right?
to do. I love that he's talking about how time is an asset and this and that. He's like describing this as is just, well, I'm bored. We could just do this. Why not? I thought it was meaningful content.
So, let's see how stuff goes, shall we? All right. So, as soon as I hear from Wings on when he's going to appear, if he's okay with what I just laid out, which was, you know, he comes out around noonish my time. I don't know what time that is his time. And that, you know, we're good. That's what we'll do on Monday. But I don't know. We'll find out. All right, we'll see if he actually adds me on Discord because I sent him the invite, right? So he has to add me,
right? And
then we got to get this all worked out. But he hasn't confirmed anything yet. Okay, there you go.
Oh man, so once that LTG had Wings on his stream, like didn't LTG have Wings on his stream? So let's say that he did. I don't know. I don't follow these other lolcows. But if that's true, then that must mean DSP's copying LTG. Because according to Phil, if you play a game that he's also playing, you're copying him. So is he copying LTG?
Okay, let's see what people have to say.
Wow.
Here's what we'll do. All right. We start with Tormek. Spider-Man is saying, how's it going? I won't be staying for the playthrough because I'm playing it for my 2315, so I actually don't know who you were before.
Okay.
Thanks for stopping by. And, yeah, I'm hoping Tormented Souls 2 is great. Yo, one person says he slapped Kelly for honking the horn. He's a POS. Then, Legenius...
Oh. So we're getting more context.
So here we go. One person says he slapped Kelly for honking the horn. He's a POS.
Okay. I love he read that. No thought at all put into that. Not even like, is that, he doesn't even ask if that's true. He just reads it and it's like, oh, he's a POS, okay.
Legenius Wisdom says this.
Again, guys, the trolls got DSP to say that Wing smacked Kelly. They got him to say it. They tricked him, dude.
Sounds awesome, and I'm excited. Darkside Dellin says, you don't need dead weight like Wings around. He drags the show's energy down. Sure. Boom Arm says, just play the game. We're going to play the game. Relax yourself. Don't rush the host. Red Siphon asked, will I play the AVGN game that just released today? I'm not in any real desire or rush to play it. Did a single person ask me to play it?
Wow, what meaningful commentary. Just quick answers, just rushing through the questions. A dude asks them, are you playing this game that just came out? Did anyone ask? Did a single person ask me? A single person did ask. Red Siphon, idiot.
So, no, I'm not too anxious to play it. What's weird is...
he's asking if you're gonna play it.
I've seen, like, footage of it.
Oh my god.
And it looks exactly the same as his older games. Like, he has 2 other games that came out, like,
alright.
But I don't know. See, I agree. Swaggy says, I think conversations with anyone can be interesting in their own way, and people are quick to say not to talk to someone. Listen, let me put it this way. What's the harm in it?
Oh, okay.
Even if this ends up being the most boring conversation ever known in history, or if it ends up being the most contentious conversation.
I love he says, what's the harm in it? Okay, but I thought you don't like wasting our time on filler content, on things that are dumb, on things that are a waste of time. Like, that's what happened with Rich. He said that was a waste of time and it was terrible. He didn't have the same mentality then.
At the end of the day, we hate each other's guts. Who cares? You know me. Business as usual. I move on. We do more gameplay. We have great times. This is not like my entire existence on the internet is hinging on this going well. I don't care. Either way, I really, it's not a big deal. Now, maybe something positive can come out of it.
Okay? Maybe.
Or maybe not. I don't know. But I think it's, in life, you gotta at least try stuff. And certainly I've known that. Like I said, in the last year, you guys have no idea how much stuff I did actually reach out and try stuff. And it's not my fault that it didn't work out because it's outside reasons that stuff doesn't work out, not me. But hey, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
YouTube has changed the way, which is why a ton of people are going to come by and I'm not going to recognize. Go full on Ralph Amail because you did one show with Ethan Ralph. You did one good show.
What is this?
Darkside Elin says, everyone thought you were going to go full on Ralph Amail because you did one show with Ethan Ralph. You did one good show and moved on, and your haters act like the sky was falling. Well,
oh my god, dude! Of course he moved on. He had other hosts he wanted to do it with, and it was still a shit show. He was so obviously drunk and inebriated, and DSP was like he was sleepy. He was just sleepy. But he was like making a big deal out of Rich showing up high. If Rich shows up high, I'm gonna hang up on. How dare he shows up high? Dude shows up like drunk and wasted. He's just sleepy. He's a sleepy little boy.
Well, these people are just dumb.
And he's a felon,
they
right?
Really are. Like,
man,
when I had Ethan Ralph on Smart Guys, right? It worked. Right? It worked.
How did it work? Dude,
100%.
I could not even watch it, at least with I think Gahul might have been the only one that was like watchable. Cypress TV at least knew what the fuck he was talking about. The only time he sounded ridiculous was when he was trying to make drama. I don't know, like he was out of his element with that one. But like you had Ethan Ralph that was like, we like, yeah, man, like it was wrestling. It's like it's like it's like that. Like that was the show.
100%. Why did it work? It worked because basically he was there for wrestling commentary, and he had a lot to add, I feel like, in my opinion. Like when he was saying stuff about the show or whatever, it was actually intelligent commentary. All right. It was good stuff.
It's good
Now,
stuff.
maybe if I continued to work with the guy, it would have become more dramatic and went south. But for the one show that he appeared on,
He
I thought that it
showed
went
up
really, really
drunk
well.
on the first show.
And I've had, cordial conversation with Ethan Ralph behind the scenes just to say, hey, I wish you well. I hope things are going well for you. And, the reason that, I don't really contact you is because there's nothing to talk about. Like, we were there for wrestling, and since the wrestling thing has fallen through and I'm not doing it anymore,
God.
there's really nothing else to do, Like, we don't really have common ground. The shit that he's doing has nothing to do with the stuff that I do, right?
Right.
So, where are we going to have a crossover? Like, on nothing. I don't do politics. I don't do drama. That's what he does, right?
So if he does politics, he'd bring him on again?
I feel like this could be a great thing.
Okay.
Especially because people, again, it's been like 5+ years. People have said, what about Wings? You want to have an interview with Wings? You're going to have gaming with Wings? I just want to have a conversation with the guy and see what happens. All right?
So you don't want to game with him. You want to do conversation. I've been noticing he's more willing to do conversations than fucking games with these people. The gamer.
Cool.
Yeah. But if anyone wants him on their show, they have to talk about games. They have to.
All right. So any last minute question for YouTube channel, if you see, to say, oh man, is 10 to 20 hours long. That means is if you speed run the game.
Okay. I don't care about the
point I was making earlier. It really doesn't make sense for me to add in a game like Outer Worlds 2 on Earth.
Right. Outer Worlds 2, don't care.
Like, no lie, I didn't know that was you until I looked at your avatar to change fascinating others. People are coming to ditch. Not to my knowledge, they abolished that like 5, 6, 7 years. Mario, my Switch 2 won't connect to the Ethernet internet anymore. I don't know why, because I didn't wireless. I'm not going to be able.
Why didn't he just try to get a new dock? Why doesn't he think
that's King Michael?
Whatever.
What's up, King Michael? All of you are again. Because it really sucks that your names don't show up the same anymore. Now it's just this @ symbol. Look at the chat. It's just an @ Oh, but we improved things. No, they're just so dumb. But again, I'm not.
Okay. He's saying this is dumb, but he complained about how many people were impersonating other people, even recently. And now he's like, so they stopped the impersonation. This is so stupid. And I kind of love that these @ symbols kind of show more their username, like, while their actual name was like their actual name in some cases.
Kidding you. When I say this, people who work at YouTube think they're smart. They actually think that they're like big brain fucking geniuses.
That sounds a lot like DSP. He thinks he's a big brain genius.
Actually think that they know better than everyone who uses the site, and that they should make these big sweeping changes without asking anyone, because that's going to improve the overall user experience.
I don't want impersonations. They need to fix it. Okay, Philly, fix it. This is stupid. I liked it what it was before.
They don't ask a single fucking person. They just launch the changes. Yeah, here's 2 more people. Pausen, I recognize. I don't know who Hagai S is. He says, oh, wow, there is that @ thing. That's annoying. Yeah, I don't even know who you are, Hagai, because that's what your channel address is, but I don't know what your real name is. This has just happened with 12 other people, too.
And you know what? It'll be easy for him to unban them then. He wouldn't have to sit there and be like, oh, email me your channel address. So this is actually kind of good if you think about it.
The issue is that YouTube doesn't have any competition. And with no real competition,
oh my God,
for it, and we all have to keep using this.
Okay.
I want to end it now at an hour's body humor. Okay. Big Mac, 30 months as a member. So what were your thoughts on Still Wakes the Deep? I thought that the game was very creepy. Okay. I liked some of the gameplay elements. I'm going to invest. Chef Demesky.
Is that the real Chef Demesky?
Chef Demesky did a $2 it again. I'm off for 2 days, and I will streaming week include. There you go. Thank you. Another full week's out.
Wow, he got like nothing. I don't think. She looks like the Life is Strange girl. Is that Max?
Okay.
Okay,
So,
where
let's
did
get
he end the
ready here.
podcast on?
Let's get all the lighting off and changed.
$25. Where's he at now? $65. Wow, it's popping over there. Alright, thank you for watching. This was kind of... I thought this was a longer video. I wasted a lot of time doing all this other stuff, and I thought that was going to eat the time. But, this was actually a decent amount of time. Wow. But thanks for watching. I think this is a good video. I mean, I'm sure I said so that people may disagree with, whatever. And that's fine. You know, it's... We all live, we all die, we all eat, we all die. I was just trying to think of a song, I can't think of one. It is what it is. But thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. And I hope to see you next time. Be it on Twitch, be it in the next video, be it whatever. But I do know this for a fact. I am going to be watching the Chainsaw Man movie, so I'm hyped for that. So I'll see you on next time, guys. And as always,
He'll never change.
I am not crazy!
There you go. See you next time. Bye.